What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Vintage Lenses.
The SMC 50mm f2. This episode of Vintage Lenses brought to you by nature. Get out and get some. And in our case, we're not gonna. In this episode of Vintage Lenses, we're gonna take a look at the Pentax 50mm f2.
Manufactured between 1979 and 1985, this 35mm came out. 5-element, 5-group lens is fantastic.
Coming in at only 160 grams, this lightweight 50mm lens is perfect to put on your gimbal. And then you throw on my ND filter, and away we go.
Now let's talk about focus, or shall we say the lack thereof. It's obviously a manual lens, and when using it on the gimbal, you can't change focus. So you gotta nail focus and keep it right, and don't miss it like I did here. After I put the camera on the rig and connected it to my monitor, started utilizing focus peaking. It was much better. The 50mm focal length is perhaps the most unique focal length, as you can use it for pretty much anything. Portraits, landscapes, close-ups. I even use it for the macro shots.
This little guy opens up to a maximum aperture of f22, but more on that later. Hey Paula, that was the first one that I sent.
Now, with it being an f2 lens, I wanted to test it out at nighttime and see how it did. And it was sharp at f2, wide open. I can say focus is razor sharp. Blinking, you might miss it. The ump was throwing everybody out. So is this lens worth it? If you're just getting started with vintage glass, then I suggest this is your first lens to buy. You can pick one out for like 25 bucks. So yeah, get you one.